Hi, everyone. My name is Denise. I am co-founder of an organization named Freedom Angels Foundation, where we are in the state of California and we fight against Governor Newsom and all of his tyrannical policies as he's decided to put into place. Not too long ago, I did a video about about Gavin Newsom and all the things that he is responsible for in the state. And it actually had a lot of people asking where's the receipts, where's the information, where are the links? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys on here a little bit of information that I put together. It's just real quick. It's nothing real crazy and delved in. It's just questions that I have asked Newsom via Twitter, via Facebook, via Instagram, and he's never responded to me. So I would like to know why. And the first question is, a lot of people around the nation right now are saying, we need to protect our elderly, we need to protect the immunocompromised, and we need to stay home. It's been 6 months. And this all came about because of the deaths that happened. 41% of the deaths occurred with the elderly. So my question to Governor Newsom is, why did you send the elderly, or why did you send positive patients into nursing homes with the elderly, possibly killing them? This is a question that I would like him to answer. And what I'm going to show you right now, it was a editorial that happened, and it was quickly scrubbed from online. So this is what I want to show you guys here real quick. Editorial: Newsom's failed response to COVID-19 nursing home deaths. So what he actually did is he paid the nursing homes to take patients in, and then they got locked down. Instead of making sure our most vulnerable were protected, these nursing homes accepted payment from Gavin Newsom, as well as accepted payments from the families. So now you have families who are, put away, and there's no visitors. We have our elderly are alone, and they need their families, and that's just not happening right now. The illnesses and the deaths that occurred in these nursing homes, same as Cuomo in New York, they are responsible for what happened to these people. And I want to know why Gavin Newsom hasn't answered to any of his constituents, hasn't answered to any taxpayers, hasn't answered to legislators onto what exactly happened with this mishap of sending patients into nursing homes. Now, again, these are just questions I would like answered, just like every other Californian would like answered. But Gavin Newsom, why did you bring in positive patients from Mexico into California? Now, this isn't a question of citizenship. This isn't a question of any of that. This is a question of, instead of creating a hospital to the southern border for these patients, because some of these patients were American citizens, they just lived in Mexico, but that's not the issue here. The issue is, instead of creating hospitals at the border to treat these patients, why was X amount of tax dollars paid in order to medevac these patients to California, inflating the numbers? Now, it originally broke with our friend, Pastor Tim Thompson from Our Watch in Marietta. He has an amazing church that really is starting to question the politicizing of this illness. So he broke the story. There were medical professionals who reached out and said, look, we have patients coming in from Mexico. They are coming into California, and they are being medevaced all across the state. And shortly after that happened, what did Gavin Newsom say? We need to shut down Imperial County again, because that's where the numbers inflated because of the patients that were being brought up. Now, if you want to see where you can go, you can absolutely go to, oh, that's the wrong one. sorry, I have my little list of things that I want to talk about. But here, you can go to Newsom is importing COVID-19 patients in from Mexico. And again, you can go to Our Watch with Tim Thompson. He originally broke the story. And that is a really important question. Why are you inflating our numbers by bringing patients in from other countries during this pandemic, where it's the most dangerous virus we've ever seen, but yet Californians, obviously, you know, we don't matter, right? It's completely fine. And not too long ago, and I'm just skipping back and forth because I did this video and I had a lot of people asking me for where's the links, where's the information. Not too long ago, Gavin Newsom, along with many other Democrats in the state, were saying that Hispanics and Blacks are disproportionately affected by this virus. So they're not getting the test, they're not getting treatment, which there's the treatment, nobody's getting the treatment. It's therapeutics of hydroxychloroquine and zinc and vitamin supplements. But he's saying that these communities of Browns and Blacks are disproportionately affected. And therefore, he wants to spend $52 million to contact trace and quarantine. So again, you can absolutely, receipts, here you go. Newsom wants to send $52 million to help Central Valley. The Central Valley is my area. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. We are in an area where it's poverty-stricken, high crime, high gang violence, yet you want to spend $52 million instead of investing that money into our economy. You want to contact trace and quarantine these neighborhoods. It seems like California has tons of money, but we don't have enough money to spend $100 extra on unemployment. Gavin Newsom said, nope, we can't do that. Absolutely can't do that. We don't have enough money to do that. And I'm going to show you exactly how much money we do have in the California purse. Now, again, look at this. Newsom sued over coronavirus aid plans for California immigrants who lack status. Let me correct that for you. He wants to spend millions on undocumented illegal immigrants in California. Do people need help? Absolutely. That is not what I'm saying. And I know I'm going to get those people who are saying you're so racist. Let me just tell you, the people in California have lost everything. We have been locked down for 6 months. People have lost their businesses. They've lost their homes. They've lost their families. I mean, this kind of stress that gets put on families absolutely affects the family unit. So why is he spending that much money on illegal immigrants when the people in California, some people don't even get anything, and a lot of people who I've actually had communication with are married to foreigners and did not qualify for a stimulus. And it was like $1,200. And in the state of California, that's absolutely nothing. Let's look again how much money California has. Look at here. So again, we don't have very much money in the state, right? We're broke and we're poor. We can't pay $100. Mind you, California has 39.5, almost 40 million people here. And Gavin Newsom hasn't even made an attempt to make sure that we're okay. He has wanted bread lines. He wants people to volunteer at food banks, but he doesn't want you to go to work. I'm going to show you how much money we actually do have in the state of California. California's Gavin Newsom blows $734 million on office refurbishments in the midst of a budget crisis. What is happening? He made sure to refurbish the Capitol, the East Wing on his side, make sure it's nice and neat and refurbished. Meanwhile, people here are trying to figure out where their next meal is going to come from. They're trying to figure out how their children are going to learn, how their kids are going to deal with this distance learning while he's redecorating and refurbishing the Capitol right now. Yet nobody questions that. You know, it's all a conspiracy theory. Now, My biggest question here is, through all this, right, California's purse doesn't have enough money to take care of Californians. Through all this, all the crimes against humanity, all the things that he has done, I want to know why there hasn't been a citizen's arrest and why the IRS hasn't actually investigated Newsom. Not too long ago, Newsom was gifted a multi-million-dollar home. $3.7 million he was gifted. So they gave it to him and he didn't pay taxes on that house. Then 3 months later, he decides to get a $2.7 million refinancing cash out. No taxes again, none whatsoever. Gavin Newsom, I would like your response to possible tax evasion, tax fraud, money laundering would be great. But again, we don't get those kinds of answers. All he tells us is to wear a mask. Wear a mask, social pressure, make you wear a mask, and forget your children. Forget your children going to school, forget your job, forget your family, forget your elders. Stay home for 6 months, and then your children are going to be involved in distance learning, and it's going to create such a shitstorm that these families they can't wait to send their children back to school. It's like, we need them out of our hair kind of thing, but that is not, sending these kids to school is not the answer. What we're being set up for, and again, this whole mask situation, this whole mask thing is a soft grooming to require vaccine later. So no mask, no entry, no mask, no travel, no mask, no school, no mask, no work. We've already started hearing the public health officers. My public health officer, Dr. Parks in San Joaquin County, has already started talking about the flu vaccine for children. We had a press briefing this morning with California Public Health, saying how important it is to keep your children up to date on vaccines and how, flu season's coming around, so be sure to get your flu shot. What's happening is a soft grooming to accept this mandatory vaccine that's not been tested. It's an untested vaccine because there's no long-term studies on it. There's none. It's a warp speed. And I know a lot of people say, well, President Trump said it's not going to be mandatory. You can opt out of it. President Trump has no say. The federal government has no say over the states, the state government. So Gavin Newsom, and along with all these other Democratic legislators, can absolutely try to sneak in a bill to mandate a COVID vaccine. Thankfully, the freedom fighters in the fight for SB 277, which mandated vaccines in the state of California for children to go to school, unless they have a doctor's note, which that doesn't even apply anymore. There's no viable vaccine exemptions. Number 11, Amendment 11 in the SB 277 bill states that parents can opt for a personal belief exemption should any other vaccines come onto the market. Those vaccines like HPV, flu shot, those kinds of vaccines, COVID, you can opt into a personal belief exemption. We'll see how long that lasts. But what's happening now in the state is Los Angeles Unified School District sent out a letter to parents saying, actually, I'm going to show you. Let me show it to you. So that way, do I have it? Let's see. Not that one. Here we go. So here it is. Los Angeles Unified School District today will begin a testing program for staff and students at LA Public Schools. According to district announcements, tests first will be provided to staff currently working at schools and their children who are receiving childcare. Testing then will be provided to all staff and students over time, with periodic testing to continue beyond that. Testing will also be provided to household members of students and staff who test positive for the virus and household members who show symptoms. The program is being conducted in partnership with the University of California, Los Angeles, Stanford, Johns Hopkins University, Microsoft, testing experts, and healthcare companies Anthem Blue Cross and HealthNet. It will also be used to research for a public study on the impact and effects of reopening. What does that mean? It means you send your children to school. Those children are going to get tested at school. And that already happens with medical vans. So the medical, the little healthcare vans come around during the beginning of the school year and start the vaccines, right? If you missed your vaccines, they come to the school, they pull you aside. Here you go, here's a shot, Timmy, and you go back to school. This will happen here with COVID. The problem with this is that if your child is at school, that child tests positive. That child will be removed, put into quarantine, because that's the protocol that the public health officers are now putting in place. You will not have access to that child. That child will be put into quarantine. The office will call you and let you know what happened. And then you will be quarantined and you will be contacted by a public health officer. Everything about that screams to me, danger, danger, danger. You are sending your children off to school, probably masked, to be tested by who knows who. And then if that test comes up positive, that's it, that child gets quarantined. We see in Ventura, they already said if you have one bathroom and you have a positive family member in that home, that person will be removed and put into a facility, a housing facility, which is also known as FEMA camps, until 14-day quarantine. Now, AB 262 in the state of California already gave the public health officer that kind of power to come into your home without a warrant and remove your family members, remove your property, your pets, should they feel that they are a public health threat. Again, this is something that we all fought against, and of course, California legislature passed it with flying colors. I wanted to show you the screenshots of the information that I gave you, so I'm just not telling you. And also really make sure that you understand the implications of sending your child to school when you don't have access to that child for the entire day. I want Gavin Newsom to start responding to the questions of why have you done X, Y, Z, and nobody has called you out on it? Why is no mainstream media picking up on this? What is going on in our state that the governor has so much cover and so much power that nobody tells him anything? Freedom Angels is looking to do a citizen's arrest. We're just trying to find the sheriff to do it. So that's just my little spill for the day. I hope that you guys really understand what is happening in the state. We have an SOS, hence why our flags are upside down. America is in distress, and Gavin Newsom is really the key part in all of this. He created the Western and Eastern Pact. And this pact was really set up to fight back against President Trump and really fight back against the American people. We need to arrest him. And this has been our SOS for Freedom Angels. We're just hoping that we get the right people to start contacting us in order to do this. If you can do a citizen's arrest on non-mask wearing shoppers, you can do a citizen's arrest on a governor who has committed crimes against humanity. So that's it. I hope to see you guys tonight live at 5 on our Freedom Angels website or Facebook site. You can find us at freedomangelsfoundation.org. We also have a YouTube channel under Freedom Angels and The Informed Mama. That is me. Thank you for listening, and we will see you tonight at 5 o'clock California time. Bye.